Being a mother to teenagers, I acknowledge that the challenges of teenagers are real. Their feelings are real. This is Hope and Sharing, a forum for teens by teens, sharing real-life experiences, challenges, and advices. I am Samuela, creator and host of Hope and Sharing. Talk to us, teens.
Hey, I got you, you got me too. And I tell you what we gonna do. You hear me, I hear you too. Oh, I give you hope and sharing. You give me hope and sharing. We know there's hope and sharing. Hope and share.
Welcome to Hope and Sharing. This is our second to last episode of this season, believe it or not. This is episode 9. And as you know, this is a forum for teens, by teens, hosted by me. Today, there's a little spice in the program, and I'll let you know what it is. We have 2 other parents joining us for the very first time on Hope and Sharing.
My name is Anya, and I thank you for letting me be a part of this show.
Thank you so much for coming, Anya. And
Hi, my name is Ruth. Thank you for letting me join your program.
you're so welcome. Thank you, Ruth. Also, for the first time in the history of Hope in Sharing, we have all 5 of our original Hope in Sharing girls on the panel at the same time. We have Jayla, as you already know her, and Sasha, and Celia, Inez, and Luna. So, welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
In case you're wondering why we have other parents, usually I'm the minority. I'm the only parent. And usually I'm steering the show and I'm asking the questions. But we're doing a little twist today. We're turning that table. The girls are going to be steering the show. They'll be asking us some questions. And let me just point out that we have no idea what the questions are. So we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. So Anya, Ruth, and I, we're going to try our very best to answer the question subjectively, because we do not represent all the parents out there and all the opinions. So we're just going to answer as best as we can. And then hopefully there'll be someone out there who might have a different perspective or idea or opinion, and then just share it with us, because we live to learn. Okay? In case you're wondering who the other 2 ladies are, who Ruth and Anya is.
Okay, so as you know, I'm Sasha, and this is my mother, Anya. Yes.
So my name is Inez, and Ruth is my mom.
And you guys already know that Jayla is my daughter. So now, without any delay, I'm gonna hand over to the girls. Wish us luck.
All right.
All right.
So, are you ready for the questions?
Are we ready for the questions?
Not really.
All right, but we're gonna take them.
All right. So the first question is, what's it like having teenage children?
I think that actually, generally, it's good having teenage children, because I think you have different kind of conversations with them. It's just nice to see how they've grown and what kind of people they are. And then I think it really puts you to the test to know that all the values that you've instilled in them, what's still there and what's not there, and all the mistakes that you've made as well. Have they learned from your mistakes? Are they following down the path? But I think generally, I would have to say all thanks to God that Isaiah and Jayla are good teenagers. Don't get me wrong, we have our moments. Jayla, we have our moments where we have our heated arguments and stuff like that, but they know that it comes from a loving place. So generally, I'm a happy mom to 2 teenagers and a teenage niece, 2 nieces.
And Mom, what do you think?
I think it's challenging because I have a daughter, Sasha, who has her own opinions. I don't know how that happened. I thought that she would have the same opinions as me, but that's not how it works.
That's not the case.
Nope. So sometimes it's been very challenging to be a mom of a teenager, but I also think that it's really nice because I have chosen to give her free space to do a lot of things, and I like to see how she enjoys life.
All right. Yeah, that's good. And good. What do you think?
I enjoy being a mother of teenagers. I have a boy who was a teenager once, and now I have a daughter. They're quite different. They give different challenges, different kind of communication and perspectives. And I can see also I learn a lot from them because it's very new to all of us being a parent, and you have to balance if it is education you should give them or guidance. And for me it's been very life enriching because I develop as a person, and I can see them as people which I respect, and but at the end of the day it's me, the parent, who is calling the shots, and and it's me in control. But I think sometimes has been challenging, and we have our moments and our arguments, and sometimes we have to compromise and to say, you know, I was wrong there. Can you forgive me? And give them also a chance I think the challenge is to let them go.
True,
Amen to that. And
So-
also, yeah, to add to what Ruth said, you just said something about the personalities being so different. I think sometimes that can be very, very challenging when you have two kids with so different personalities and different, you know, characters, like,
And
because
different genders also.
different genders, and you're not gonna treat them all the same, and sometimes that can be very, very tricky, very hard sometimes, and you know, one is like an extrovert and the other one is an introvert, and one treatment or, you know, way of doing things works with the other one and it doesn't work with the other, and also, like you said, saying sorry. For me also is very, very important, like you said, because as adults, as parents, it doesn't come with any manual, right? And we make mistakes. So I think it's important to, you know, saying sorry to our kids. It's very important because that's what we're teaching. I mean, our life is a lesson to our kids. So we have to be able to say sorry.
Also, we teach them, when you say I'm sorry, you teach them it's okay to be human, and your parents are also human before they are parents.
Yes.
And sometimes society demands that we always have to swallow everything as a parent, but that's what ongoing conversation I have with Dinesh, that we are people and we make mistakes, and as a parent also we make mistakes, and then to say to your child, you can also, when you become a parent yourself, also have the chance to say I'm sorry to your children. Not that much, but when you say sorry, it has to be authentic.
Yes. Yes.
True.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
True. You had a good point also with letting go. Sasha was at a school far away from us for a year, and a boarding school. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And I felt happy for her to go. And a lot of people asked me, how can you just let her go? And are you not sad all the time? Don't you miss her? Of course I missed her. But I was never sad because I was happy that she had the opportunity to do a lot of things with other people and learning from other people. And now that she moved away very early in life, I'm happy for her to be here with you guys and learn how it is to be your family. Yeah. So I'm not sad, but of course I miss her, but I also think that it's very nice that I can let go and just say, okay, well, she has her life.
But I think it's also because you've done a great job with your daughter, Anya.
Thank you.
And I tell you that with all honesty and sincerity. You've done an amazing job, and it's a blessing having Sasha with us. Yeah, so yes. And she can't take it.
So moving on to the next question. What's the reason behind the way you raised your child?
I think that I was thinking a lot about how I was raised, and I needed to give Sasha something else. It was important for me to, for her to feel safe. I had a very strict dad, and sometimes I felt like I wasn't allowed to say anything or speak my own mind. And that was very important for me, to Sasha, to give Sasha something else.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And Ruth?
You ask what's the reason.
Yeah.
Yes, it's funny that we relate to our parents because they are the only, they are the role models, and most of the things we do, it's against what they did, and sometimes when you think you do against, you do the same as they do. I grew up with lots of freedom. I'm the fourth child. I always had my siblings around me, and there was like 1.5 average distance age. So we just took a lot care of each other, and then we were careless. We went out and play, and we could do lots of things. I never heard my mother telling us, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And actually it was what I was talking with my children and some of my friends, that one of the values, the high values I have, it's freedom, because I had it in my childhood. And then I want to do the same to my children, and you just come to do it. Because I almost never say no to Inês, and when I say no, she understands it. And like we were talking about letting go, it's also saying yes.
Yeah, true.
To the things, because you cannot control them.
No.
The more they want to do what their body tells them to do, because sometimes they have no perspective or filters, and sometimes they have it. When they don't have it, so it's the parents who have to regulate them. So I think freedom, because it's a value for me, and I want them to have that value also.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And you?
That's a very, very good question, actually.
Yes.
And I don't even think I've reflected on it like the way you guys are asking right now. I think for me, what has been important, also I grew up sometimes with my grandparents and sometimes with my mom. I had freedom when it came to my mom. She trusted me. I was always this child who wanted to do good and not to go the wrong way and do stuff like that. But I had strict grandparents as well, where you were almost not allowed to do anything. And raising my kids, what's been important to me, number one, was that they're God-fearing, because I grew up as a Christian. And I believe that there's a higher power above. I wanted my kids to have that love for God, because when you have that love for God, sometimes it makes you, not sometimes, it makes you look at people as, and embrace other people in all their differences. And Jayla and Isaiah's dad and I, we have a good balance in saying yes and no to our kids. But whenever we say no, we explain to them why we're saying no. And we really hope that they would understand why we're saying no. It's to protect them or something. And, you know, and sometimes it's also about finding the balance when you say no. And then, okay, you're like, okay, all right, then let's go on a compromise. Sometimes we say no and we stick to it because we say that we're also your parents. We're not just your friend. And sometimes we might be unpopular, but it's our duty to get you prepared for life. Like where Jayla is right now, she's going to be 17 very soon. And there are things that, you know, I can say no, but when she go out, she'll do something. So I have to trust the person that she is, to know that whatever we've instilled in her, she will find her own way as well. So for me, it's about respect. It's about getting a good balance, that no is equally important as yes, that I can't say yes to her all the time. And also whoever she's mingling with. The younger she was, I had a big influence on who she spent her time around, because I believe that friends in a younger age, I've been there myself, can have a good influence on you, they can have a bad influence on you. So yeah, I think just basically it's about adjusting all the time. Like I said, there is no manual. So sometimes I make mistake. I'm like, oh, Jilla, you know, no, I shouldn't have said no there. No, it's fine. You can stay longer than 10. You can stay longer than 11. Or sometimes I say, no, I want you to be home by this and this time. So it's a balance. There is no manual.
It's funny you say no, because no is a part of education, that you are engaged in your children. And sometimes parents say no, but sometimes when I say no, she says, why do I say no? What can happen? Sometimes it's only you want to show some kind of authority. Because you are a parent, I have to say no. But why do you say no? But when you say no, they understand why you say no, because no, it's a protection. And because you are engaged.
And Ruth, and I grew up with that, where when your parents say no, you dare not ask why they said no. It's like, because they'll say, I say no because I say no. And you get no explanation, right? So for me, it's important for me that I tell my kids, when I say no, this is why I'm saying no and no. And sometimes they can reason. And there's been several times, Jayla, where you've come to me and you said, no, you know what, Mom? Actually, I'm glad that you said no. And I've thought about it. I was angry in the moment, but thank you. You know, it's okay.
So on to the next question. Is a bit of a throwback question, but what was the biggest trouble you've ever gotten in, and were you punished for it?
I've been always a church goer as a teenager. I always say, if the church was a maternity, I was born there. I was the sweet girl, never doing something wrong. So I don't remember doing something so wrong that I need a punishment, because my parents actually, they didn't punish, but they could give a slap, not on the face, but it was very rare they did, but it was not a part of education. It was here and now. So I think my problem was more when I did something wrong. I don't know what the church would say, or God would say, or something. So I don't remember, actually.
Like Ruth, I think when I was growing up, I've always been focused on like doing right and wrong and being good to others and stuff like that. But I think one issue that I had was I always loved to ask questions. So if someone said no to me, I want to know why you're saying no. And that was okay when I was with my mom, but when I was with my grandparent, that was not okay, because grandpa says no, because grandma says no. So I think they always saw me as I was defiant in that sense, like, why do you always want to know the answer? But it's not like I wanted to go against that. I just wanted to know why, because especially if I felt like it was unfair or I was treated in the wrong way. So, but I don't remember and of course getting the slaps, that was a normal thing when we're growing up. Some of my siblings got more slaps than me. But yeah, we got those don't talk back at me kind of stuff like that. But I don't remember doing something so bad that I was punished for as such in that way.
I remember one time when my sister was gonna get confirmed. I was tired of my hair and I wanted something new. So I cut my hair. My parents promised me a jumpsuit, and I was so happy. But because I cut my hair, they punished me by saying that I had to wear a dress. And at that time, I did not wear dresses. And the worst thing was, I got this dress that was very, very flowery. A lot of big flowers on it and a lot of colors, and yeah, so that was my punishment.
You did get the dress.
I got, I think it was a skirt and a blouse and a jacket, but I wanted a jumpsuit because I thought that was cooler. But I had to wear something that
was very girly.
Yeah, too girly. And I've never been a girl, so yeah.
So they took that away from you.
Yes, they
The
did.
jumpsuit.
Yeah.
That was a good punishment.
Yeah.
That's even better than getting a smack.
My dad always said that when you get a certain age, getting a smack, we never got smacked in the face. My dad always smacked us in the bottom. And I'm telling you, he was cruel. I mean, it was so bad. And when we got to a certain age, he was like, there's no reason for that anymore because we can't, we can't move them one or the other way by that.
Hitting them.
How did you guys tell your parents about your first boyfriend? And how many serious relationships did you have before you settled down?
My first serious relationship was when I was 17, going to 18. And that was my serious relationship. And that boy ended up being my husband for many years. So, and then of course, and I met him in Sierra Leone. Jayla, do you know who it is? I met him in Sierra Leone when I was staying in Sierra Leone for some time before coming to Denmark. So when I came to Denmark, automatically I told my mom. For those who don't know, we were reunited with our mom here in Denmark. So
how did you tell her?
So I told my mom when I came, I said, I have a boyfriend and I really, really, really care for him. And we've only been together for 7 months. And now I had to come to Denmark and, you just spoiled everything. But of course, I was happy to see my mom. So I just told her. And then she knows that I've never told her about boyfriends. So she said to me, oh, please, it's not going to last. You're only 17 and 18. You're going to meet a lot of beautiful Danish boys here in Denmark. And you probably forget about him. But I never did. So, yeah, so that was it. And they just took it. And even my grandparents, actually, in Sierra Leone, they accepted your dad after I left for Denmark. Because when I was there, it's like, no boyfriend. So it was after I left, and he kept visiting them and was such a nice person, and they took him in. So so there was no problem telling my family, because they know that when I say something, I stick to it. Yeah.
Yes. And what about you?
I never told my parents I had my first boyfriend. I just took him home.
So rude.
And he was 18 years older than me. It was my first...
18 years old?
18 or 16, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh. And he was a very good guy, because until this day, today, he's very good friends with my mother and father and my family. He loves my family. Actually, most of my boyfriends stick around in the family, which can be a little bit problematic. But I also joke with my mother, so you can take him if you want to. So he's only 18 years younger than you. So, but since then I've never been having many boyfriends. There were serious relationships, and once in a while kissing with one and with another one. But I still, as I told, I grew up in church, so I had this idea, when I get the chosen one, I'm going to stay married forever. But no, I just took it easy, and my mother, my parents, they let us have any boyfriend we want to. so they don't scrutinize them.
Mom, you forgot my dad. Where was he?
Yes, it's getting hot in here. I left the first boyfriend for your father, and then it was a little bit problematic. But then I took your father home and presented to all of my family. They were enchanted because he was very nice and taking good care of me, and he was very polite and finding my family very exciting because he's Danish, and for him it was the first time. And he finds all the family very charming. So it was a little bit difficult when I got divorced because they still put him in a pedestal because he was helping to take care of the children and changing diapers, which was something Portuguese men didn't do, neither Africans. So they were very impressed about these things that
Some
actually...
Africans.
Yes, I don't know, but you know, families,
Yeah.
African families, they have these ideas of stereotypes of men that don't help at home or something. And when they saw my ex-husband being so engaged with the children, like taking my oldest, letting me sleep and going for a walk, and it's a different culture that they got very impressed with. And he was also a very nice, he's a nice guy, your father.
And they still ask about him. When is he coming to Portugal?
Yes, so, well, he didn't stick around because he has another wife, but he still likes my family, and he still has a special place in my parents' heart.
Yeah, that's beautiful though.
Yes.
Yeah, because you have a beautiful daughter together, so that's,
Thank you,
yeah.
thank you. So,
Yeah.
And you, and
I always have a difficult time choosing. So that was the same thing
They're
with
also
men. I just think it was a little bit like you with just taking a guy home. Maybe I don't remember. Honestly, I don't.
No, okay.
Not the first time. Maybe I just told them that, okay, is it okay to have my boyfriend over? And because I'm Danish, I think in our family it was more open and it was possible to have him sleep over and all that.
I think, can I just, like what Ruth said actually when about the family taking them in, it's the same. Unfortunately, I don't know if you know, Jayla's and Isaiah's dad and I, we're not together anymore. But it's also been very important that we keep the family as close as possible, and we have a very good relationship in raising our kids, and also because we've been friends since we were small. So, but of course, the divorce, like you're saying, it's a tough thing. It's very hard.
What was some of your insecurities growing up?
for me, it was mostly about sometimes the color of my skin, because I grew up in a white society. And even though I didn't think about it too every day when I was in school, because you forget it, you're just a kid, there was always someone making you paying attention to that. So,
yeah, so paying attention to the fact that your skin color was different?
yes, like on the street calling you
Yeah.
names, or I like you, I think you are a very nice person, but because of the color of your skin, and, which I find it was very weird.
It is very weird.
That was a
Or
strange
I
one.
like you, but I don't like your family. Or, because at the end of the day, they were telling we are people, that's why they like me. So not, and then I think,
Yeah.
not liking my color, it's not liking me anyway. So
Yeah, that's right.
yes,
Yes.
it's a part of me. It's an organ, the biggest organ in your body. So if you don't like,
And it's a beautiful and
yes.
bold organ.
yes.
Yes.
And then insecurity was like, you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough. Even though you are drop dead gorgeous because you're so young, but you're not aware of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about me,
Yeah.
because young people are gorgeous. They are young, they are on their best in a way, you know. So I had a lot of insecurities, actually. It's funny you ask that, but at a certain point it stops. But I think that time I live with more insecurities than many young people live now. Perhaps it's different, but
Maybe it has changed because now maybe it's more about grades or how you were supposed to be good in school, and then back in the days it was more like how you're supposed to be as a woman or a girl.
yes. And also when you deal with anxiety, even though I didn't know at that time I had it, dealing with the generalized anxiety makes you, in a way, doubt yourself, and this is a source of insecurity. But I don't think at the end of the day we have different insecurities than many young people have.
Enya?
I was teased a lot. So that made my self-esteem very low. So everything was a problem, actually. My looks, my body type, my way of being. I've always been called a strange person because I have a friend whose sister told her parents that I was strange. And when I was told, I was like, but how am I different than every other person? And I actually liked the reply from her parents to her when she was saying that I was strange, because they said, well, she's not strange, she's just not like you.
There you go.
But not being like everyone else. Just like I have a daughter called Sus, and right now she's got the same problem because she is very outspoken and does things that others think is strange. And I think maybe she's more like me when I was young.
Strange is just a bad word. It's just it follows some negativity that just is not good.
It's true.
Because you can say different or unique.
Exactly.
And different, I feel like different, the word different can be associated with both negativity but also positivity. But unique, it's a much more nice word.
Yeah,
Positive.
than strange.
Strange is just
Weird.
That's true. Growing up, actually, I was very secure in myself. I had a lot of friends, good network, some of them that I still have up till today, those friendships. But if I have to think about something I would say that I was insecure about, outwardly, it's like when we're all growing up as younger girls, nobody has breasts, nobody has bum or anything. And then all my friends started growing breasts, and all of them growing butts. And I'm like, okay. And then we have like physical education in school where, I was the girl with the, the flat chest. And it was like, yeah, see, I can jump, I can do this, and nothing is jumping around. So it was only fun when we had physical education, right? And but it was nothing that really I was sad about. But I was conscious. The older I got, the more conscious I was like, okay, something starts happening now, So I think that was one of my insecurities. And then another one that probably none of you know, I think maybe only Jada knows that. When I was 11 or about 8, my cousin and I, who was a boy, were very, very close, and he was so wild. He was like a really boy's boy. So we're playing around. He had me on his shoulder, and he was turning around and spinning. And then for some reason, he just dropped me, and I fell on my teeth, and I chipped one of my tooth. So growing up from 8 until I came to Denmark, I was walking around with a chipped tooth. So that was one of my insecurities. Yeah, but I never did the thing. But I was so conscious. I think I got more insecure when I came to Denmark, actually. because and then I went to the dentist for the first, and they were like, "Oh, that? Oh, we can fix that." I'm like, "Can they fix that?" So yeah, so those two things, and but then after I had Jayla, and then the older I got, I just got comfortable in my skin. I'm like, not every woman is supposed to have big breasts or big bum or you know. But then I got shapely after I had kids, and thank God for that. So it complemented for other things. Yeah, yeah.
When did you start drinking, if you ever did? And what are your perspective or opinions about, drinking for teens? Yeah.
I have tried sometimes, and of course I've been drunk, and I found out that I really don't like being drunk. And I found out that I did things that I didn't want to do when I was drunk, because so I have decided that drinking is not my thing.
Okay. So, and what's your like opinion about other people drinking or me drinking or like what?
I think it's important that, and you know this. I mean, I think that it's important that you learn what it does to your body, drinking, and that's why you've been allowed to do it at home to start with. And because I have found out, you know what it does, and you also know how you don't want to feel. I think, right?
Yeah.
So that's why
boundaries and stuff like that.
I trust you to have a good judgment about it. So that's why you are allowed to drink a little bit when you're out.
Actually, when I was young, I've never been attracted to alcohol, even though at a certain point I was working in a bar. My body didn't ask for that. I tried alcohol very late compared to what is considered early. I don't even remember, like, I could have like try a gin and tonic and it stayed there. Drinking really, it's very important that you define start drinking. isn't it?
Yes.
Going to social events, actually it was in Denmark, and at that time I was already 25 and my body was not reacting, because every time I drink or I get over one or two glasses, it was wine, because in my ex-husband's family they enjoy red wine. It's the only thing they enjoy, really. So I was getting very nauseated. It's funny I say, everyone who comes to Denmark starts drinking. All of my friends, Portuguese friends, because I had a good relationship with alcohol, because I saw my father drinking one glass of wine to the meals. And now it's proven that people who grow up like this, they have a more relaxed, teenagers from the south of Europe, they have a more relaxed, chilled out, not exaggerated relationship with alcohol. I would like my children to drink.
You would?
I wouldn't. But it's their lives. I can just tell what are the consequences. And I wish you could not do it as a girl, for example, to protect yourself. Because lots of things also, how do you say in English, like having sex without consent. It's where it happens there. And when I've been to school and talking, we had like a lecture about teenage and alcohol, and they were telling the numbers of alcoholism and about Danish youngsters starting to drink when they're 11 years old, and how that affects also girls in the ages of 15, because they cannot analyze and perspectivate the situation when they drink, and how it brings a lot of sexual diseases and and sex without consent. I think the best one to answer it's you, Inês. What kind of messages mother has been giving you and how it comes across?
I remember we have talked about it one time when we was on this African camp every year at the summertime, and some of them were drinking alcohol in my age, and I was like, I want to try.
How old were you,
I
Inês,
was
at that point?
16 actually.
Yes.
So I was like, I want to try some of this, and some of the kids say it's just like soda or something, and it tastes good. So I was like, Mom, can I maybe try it? And you said, oh, you can take a sip. And
No, I said we have to talk.
we had to talk about it
with your father.
with your and then
You called your father.
I called my dad, and I was
Because I
like,
said
can
no.
I drink?
Daddy, I want to drink.
No, I don't.
Can
but
I try?
Can I try? I know that I have drank before, but I have never been drunk or something. And when I have been with my good friends. And it's also when I got older, because I know that I can't tolerate alcohol, because I just know, because I think I will get weak or something, or do something stupid, and I know the consequences about alcohol. I'm always, when some of my friends are drunk, I'm always, the mom or someone who's carrying the others. So I don't think about alcohol, but I think here in Denmark the culture is more, you drink at a young age. So, but that's, in our group, it's not, a thing that we do or we love to. So yeah, but I think it's very important that my mom knows what I'm doing. So I will never lie to you about something. So and you have never seen me come home drunk or something. So yeah.
But though that time when I said, Inês, I cannot take this decision alone, we have to talk with your father. And I said, no, until you talk with your father. But then when you talked to your father, you didn't come and tell me. And then your father said yes, and you went and tried it. But it's okay.
Yeah. I think he's Danish, so he has always
more relaxed.
Yeah, he loves wine and all that. So
okay.
For me, I think I would say, like you, Annie, I don't think I started drinking. If I have to say I started drinking was when I was in my 30s. I went on a girls' trip to Spain with both of my cousins, and it was an all-inclusive hotel, and they had like cocktails and stuff like that. So it's cocktails, so it's it was less of the alcohol and more of, and alcohol has just never said anything for me. Also, before coming to Denmark, I grew up in a culture where it's not common that young people are drinking. I grew up seeing my mom. My mom loves her beer. She loves her glass of wine when she eats, but it's just never been anything for me. And coming to a culture like Denmark where it's so liberal when it comes to drinking, and I've seen my friends what alcohol does to them. Like you're saying, it clouds your decision. Also, Anya, like what it does to your body. I just never want to lose control in such a way that I would look back at myself and regret it. I think it's important to always have your head with you. And so I've never really started drinking. Like now, once in a while, maybe if I'm with friends, I'll take like a Chardonnay. It has to be sweet. I can't, when it's, it doesn't, I can't take anything too full of alcohol. When it comes to my kids, James and I raise our kids in a way that knowing that when you're young at a certain age, alcohol is no go. Yes, sometimes when we're home, if we have like a glass of, like I'm saying, like this champagne or something, I'll say, oh, Jilla, do you want to taste? She'll stick her tongue in there. Oh, and usually she doesn't. But so even with Isaiah, so we told them that for a long time. And then when he started like 17, and so we said, it's okay if you guys want to try something like a breezer or something when you go out. But what was very important, that you never drink to the point where you get drunk. Don't go out there and be drunk. And then someone, especially for a girl, like you said, could take advantage of you. And I know my kids, and I know that they would regret it. So I think we've been good on that point. Like even with Isaiah, like now he's 20, just turned 20, and he goes out and I've never seen him drunk. And he would like maybe take one or two something, but yeah. So just having a healthy relationship with alcohol, that's what's important. It's not about drinking or not drinking, because you know, I'm not saying that drinking is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing as long as you know what you're doing. But I think the culture that we're in is too liberal when it comes to alcohol and what you see young people going through. And yeah, so that's my point on that.
When you were a teenager, how did you usually spend your weekends? Because I know your generation is a lot different compared to our.
My weekend, Saturday was general cleaning. And if you're lucky, your friends could come over and then maybe you could just... Okay, this was pre-Denmark, before I came to Denmark. Your friends would come over and you just hang out a little bit in front of the house and then that's it. Sundays, church and homework. So that was my weekend. Once in a blue moon, I was allowed to like go out and just hang out with friends and stuff. But usually it was like in this homely setting, yeah? So it was nothing like parties, not like Jayla, like yours now. Moa, can I be with this? I'm coming, I'm going there. Mine was boring. It was
Mine
much
is
more.
not.
Yours is not boring. No, yours is good. Thanks to your parents. Go ahead, Anya.
I slept a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe hung out with a friend. I didn't have a group of friends. I only had single friends. So yeah, just relaxing.
Yeah.
In the weekends, I slept long and hanging around with my friends. Sunday going to church. And when I start working in the bar and going out, I was dancing a lot on Saturdays, and then going to church in the morning, wasted.
Yeah.
It was in last teenage times. So it was like that, but I hang around a lot with my friends. And chill.
How old were you when you came to Denmark? Can I just
I
curious?
was 25, 24, 25, I guess.
Did you ever have an adult whom you considered like a mentor, who you could like talk about your problems to, and who you could just like come to when you were sad or anything?
I had my English teacher. She was, she had the most beautiful soul. And she was so good at directing me in ways when I was sad. I used her a lot. I mean, even when I was supposed to have a lesson in school, I sometimes sat in a room with her talking because I needed it. Yeah.
So she was kind of like a parental figure for you, like an extra parent, if you could say it. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, with our culture, in fact, not our culture, the family, we have a lot of aunties and uncles, and that's something that we cherish a lot. So your parents are not your only adult figure, or, you know, like there's a saying that two people can give birth to a child, but it takes a village to raise them. So for me, I had amazing aunties. So I cherish the idea of aunties. That's like a second mom. I have my aunties that I could talk to about things, and my mom as well. I have a very good relationship with my mom, so it's very limited what I cannot talk to my mom about. I can't even think about anything.
I also had aunties, but I was someone who kept things for myself. I never share things. That's what my mother told me. You always kept things, and I could see sometimes you were upset, but my mother, I never got to the real root of the problem, but she was very good in saying the right words and making me feel happy again. But no, I don't think so.
How would you guys feel if your child came out as a homosexual?
Well, that's an easy one.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Because I am colorblind, genderblind, and I love all people. And whether you are gay, lesbian, or something else, whether you're brown, yellow, red, or white, doesn't matter to me. And I believe that no matter what, I will love my children, whether they are one or the other. So
Good answer.
Yeah. I would somehow be a bit disappointed. I would love my child, no matter what. There's nothing that my child could do that I wouldn't love them. I would be disappointed, but I would learn to accept it because I love my child. And I don't look down on people that are, because I have friends that are homosexual and stuff like that. It's their own decision to make. But speaking, if we have to be very, very honest, like looking at Isaiah and Jayla, if Isaiah came to me and said, Mom, I'm gay, or Jayla said that, it would take me some time to get used, to that. Yeah, I would, but I would accept and I would love them regardless. Yes, fully. Yeah.
I understand what you mean because I feel the same. Yeah. Sometimes you think homosexuality, when it's about our children, then it's quite different. It can be only in the other people's. So with time it changes because at the end of the day we have to accept people how they are. And the biggest challenge was for a child to be something that we never think they are going to be. So I would love my child and have some talks about it, how they feel, and just work with the feelings.
Yes.
Because lots of parents who don't see genders and so, but when the minute things gets to your children, so things are different.
Yeah.
So, but no, they would be loved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would never affect our love for our kids.
Never.
what's most important for me is that my kids are happy.
Yes.
And if they have feelings for the same gender and they are not allowed to express it because their parents don't want it to be like that, and well, they would probably express it anyway, but they would not be able to share their happiness with their parents, and that's what's important to me.
Yeah. I think for me, I wouldn't make the decision for my child, like you're saying. I wouldn't make the decision for my child. What I think I would let my child know is that this is really not what I was hoping for you, but I love you, and we'll work through this as a family. And of course, I want her or him to be happy. Yeah, but I would go down on my knees and pray.
Yes.
And then
Start praying right now. Just saying.
It's about
No,
us.
I don't see the signs yet in this too. So it will be a bombshell.
It's okay to have the feelings you have and accept the feelings, because when you accept it, you can work them through. If I was judgmental, I don't want people to tell me you're judgmental, just get over it.
Yes.
So just work with it, because there's things that are tough to swallow.
It's true. That's true.
So
So on to the last question. It is, why do parents always blame the phone, no matter what the problem is?
They blame the phone.
The phone.
How is that?
Like
seizing the phone?
no, but we always have the phone and maybe social media or.
So like if I have a headache, I would tell my mom, my head hurts, and she would blame it on the phone. It's because you're on your phone too much. Or if I tell her my stomach hurt, it's because you're on your phone too much. Like everything, they blame it on the phone.
Oh, it's because you were up on your phone.
Yeah, everything.
Or maybe if you're insecure about something, oh, it's because your phone or social media. Or,
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I blame it on their phone all the time. I don't blame it on their phones. What I think I do with the phone, but that's a general thing for our family. When we're together, it's important to me that we put the phone away, that we're not always on the phone. If we're watching a movie together, let's do things together so that we're in the moment. When you guys are by yourself, what you do with your phone, it's okay, because now they're all big kids. So I don't think for me, I don't think I tell Jayla all the time, it's because of your phone, that's why you have a bellyache or you have a headache or you're toothache. I don't think so. But I think if I'm talking with her and she has the phone, I would tell her, like, can you please put the phone down and just be with me now? And then, I think Sasha, I think you guys are good at doing that as well.
I'm very surprised by that question because I have never, like never ever, blamed anything on the phone.
I think the blame on the phone we talk about, it's when the parents want to be with you and have contact with you, and also try to learn you some social skills. Like, it's like this, you know, but I don't think I blame it on the phone. It was a time that you were a lot on the phone, and then you say, I slept very late, and I said it's because of the light, and now it's you telling me this. Mom, you don't sleep because you have the lights of the phone, and just put it away. So I don't think, because we know that that's an important part of you. But I think, I cannot speak for you, but I can speak as a parent. It's because, in a way, we want contact with you, and we want to be with you. And the phone is more important to you, not because you don't love us, but it's how...
It's a barrier.
Yes.
But I also think it's because we have a lot of social network on the phone.
Yes.
And not, if you just watch TV, you're only watching a program that's made up for you. But when you're on the phone, you're actually talking to a lot of people and your friends. So you actually have a network, and you're not, it's called antisocial, but you're actually social on the medias.
You're social on the medias,
Yeah.
but you have to know that if you are social with someone who's there physically, that should be your first priority, because they are there. So that's where the social network is good. Social media is very good. But if in times of trouble, no one on that social media is going to be there. It's the person who is right there. So even if when we're here and if we're using the phone, I would just say, just a minute, I'm just checking this quick. So they know that there is a limit and there is an end to that. So I don't think it's the phone. The phone is not the issue. It's how, if the phone is misused, that would be the issue. But I don't think you guys do.
No.
Yeah, I think it's been very good. What do you guys think, Anya and Ruth? Being here for the first time and bombarded with such interesting questions.
I think it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yes. And I like how young people are thinking.
Yes.
And how,
Yes, yeah.
And I think it was also fun. I thought it was more difficult than I just imagined.
Yeah.
And I wish every parent sometimes, teenagers ask their parent questions.
Yes.
Because they get to know them. And now, now when my mother and my father says something, it's because of this and this. But thank you for letting me join. I think it was very funny.
Thank you so much for being a part of it. And I think it's so good, like Ruth said, that young people have a voice, because you do have a voice. And it's important that you use your voice. And you're in a stage in life where you shouldn't just take anything. You know, it's good to put question mark to some things. It's good to ask questions. And I think as parents, we need to learn as well to answer these questions, not to just say it is that way because it is. So I think it's been very educative.
Yes.
And a lot of the questions have been things that we had to reflect about because we put them so far back. And as parents, sometimes we forget that we've been there, right? Even though their times are different, but some of the issues are still the same that we go through. So thank you, ladies, so much.
Girls.
Yeah, very, very clever girls. So teenagers, I'm going to focus my attention to you out there watching and say thank you so much for joining us. I just want you to know that as parents, we're people as well, and we do our best. We make mistakes. Are we going to do some wrong things sometimes? Yes. Are we unfair sometimes? Yes, we are as well. Why is that? Because we're just people. And being a parent, like I said, does not come with a manual. It's something that we learn and adjust along the way. But you have to know that as a parent, we've been teenagers before. We have the life experience and the history to go with it. Some of the things that we're telling you is because we've been there. So most importantly, it comes from a place of love and care and because we want the best for you. We're not always gonna get everything right and we're not always gonna get everything wrong. So I think it's important to communicate with each other and ask your parents some questions, and parents answer the questions that your children have, because we're still trying to get them to be the best version of themselves and not the best version of us as parents. So thank you so much for supporting Hope in Sharing. And like I said, this is our second to last episode. So thank you for joining us, and remember to subscribe. And the last episode is going to be a blast. So stay tuned. God bless you, and thank you for joining Hope in Sharing. Make sure to subscribe to our Hope in Sharing YouTube channel, and please click on the like and notification button to be notified when we upload the next episode with a new topic. Also, please let us know in the comment section below if there is a topic you would like us to discuss. We welcome and appreciate your support. See you next time, and thanks for being a part of the Hope in Sharing community.